Hello, I'm Dan Dawkins for GTA 5 O'Clock and I'm joined by James Jarvis.
Hello Dan, hello everyone.
And we're here to talk about perhaps the biggest video game conspiracy of all time.
That's right Dan, why don't you sell the dream?
Well, the dream is, in GTA 5, as anyone who's got the cable car will know, when you ascend to the top of the cable car, in the cabin above, there is a not that hidden mural, which you'll be able to see on screen right now. And that mural is a series of interconnected lines with little boxes. The boxes have little X's in them. At the bottom of that, there are three images. One looks like a UFO, one looks like an egg, a cracked egg of some kind, and the other, debatably, looks like a man with a jetpack. Now, the inference of the internet's collective hive mind is that these three boxes represent prizes that can be achieved for solving the puzzle. There is also another theory that we'll get to in a minute. Now, initially, the feeling was that this mural represents a sort of cross-section view of Mount Chiliad. Then the internet did a bit of thinking and tracking with evidence that we'll get onto and said, no, this mural should be overlaid over the map with the sort of all-glowing eye laid over the very far northernmost point. Mm-hmm. Now, there's also a counter-theory emerging now that we were right in the first place, which we'll get to in a minute. But the key evidence is that there are these X's to be found. It is a fact, we have got them, you will see them on screen. There are a number of, spoiler alert, UFOs to be found in the game. The most prominent of which is on the peak of Mount Chiliad. When you 100% complete the game, you can go back to the top of Mount Chiliad, and providing it is raining or thundering, and what time has it got to be, James?
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
when it appears.
You will see a UFO from the edge of the top of Mount Chiliad. Now, this is a big, sort of classic 1960s style UFO, almost like the one you'd see in E.T. It's emitting lights, it's making noises. The weird thing is, you can't shoot it, you don't really interact with it, and the characters don't really acknowledge it, which is weird. You can try to shoot it and nothing happens. The emerging theory is that this is in fact a holographic UFO projected from a different point. Again, we can't prove this, but there is a video doing the rounds of lights dancing off the side of Mount Chiliad that many believe are the projection point of the UFO. Now, others are saying that this UFO is the start of a trail to find various other UFOs in the game. We have evidence to support it. If you look on the far left-hand or west-hand side of the map over Fort Zancudo, there is a bunker station that at certain times of the day emits very weird flashing rotating lights. Somebody, and don't ask us why, followed that trail of lights vertically upwards in a helicopter, and when you take the helicopter above the horizon line, the words San Andreas appear in the bottom right to indicate you've hit the hemisphere line, and at that point they hazarded upon a UFO that materialises suddenly out of nowhere, like pixels coming into life. Now, that UFO you can interact with, right, James, to an extent?
You can. I think you can get on it, but you basically immediately get thrown off the top of it. But this UFO is more like your traditional sort of Independence Day one, rather than one that we've, like an ET round one. This has got like bits hanging off it and like something underneath it that rotates and different lights. It's definitely a more alien-looking UFO.
It's more menacing-looking.
Yeah.
Now, and then there's that one there. Now, again, if you go to the other side of the map, on the east side, northeast to Sandy Shores, above there is a not at all hidden, like, I don't know, not again a mural, but kind of, what would you describe it as? Monument?
Yeah, it's where a lot of people sort of congregate around there. There's always people sitting under it talking about aliens, and there's all different types of alien drawings on the walls. There's people there talking about wanting to be abducted. There's things saying like "beam me up" scrawled on the walls and stuff. And it's really colourful. It's just off the highway, so it's not that hard to miss. You'll definitely find it.
Now, again, if you ascend vertically from this point and you hit the San Andreas horizon line, and then you move around a little bit within the circumference of that area, eventually you will see another UFO. This is a 1960s style classic disc silver UFO. The weirdest thing is, on the side of it is written the FIB logo, the FIB being the FBI of GTA 5's world. This is weird. This is where people are saying that if you overlay the mural map over these two locations on the map, they roughly correspond to these points on the mural, suggesting that there are 2 or 3 further items and or UFOs to be found, assuming that the mural map is to be overlaid in this way, which again is a big assumption. So, what else do we know to be true? Is there anything we've missed?
The reason I think we found the first UFO at the top of Mount Chiliad is when you go there any point in the game, there's a little bit of text written under the viewing platform that says return here when your story is complete, which pointed everyone to, you know, to go, oh, I have to 100% the game before anything happens, which you do. You have to see that Mount Chiliad UFO, you have to have 100% completed the game.
Yeah.
Complete the whole story missions and do all the stunt jumps and everything, and then return there when it's raining and at 3 a.m. with any of the characters, and then the UFO would appear.
Yeah, and there's other things in the game that are peculiar. They are all over the world. There are pieces of graffiti which are relating to either theories of the Illuminati, which is like the long talked about sort of, you know, secret global ruling elite with links to finance, religion, and of course aliens. That's a very big real world theory. And there are links to the Epsilon program, who were well known, effectively the Scientology cult of the GTA 5 universe. Now, what people aren't sure on is whether the UFOs, if they are linked to the FBI, are they also part of some sort of Illuminati theory, or are they part of some Epsilon program theory? Further threads to pick up that the 3 boxes may not represent strictly prizes. They may in fact represent the 3 characters in the game. The belief is that the egg is Franklin, because Franklin's like the new hatchling into the world. He's the newcomer. Michael would be the UFO and Trevor the jetpack, sort of representing chaos and skittishness. To sort of cement that theory, there is a line connecting the sort of jetpack and UFO, which is Michael and Trevor, to suggest they knew each other before the story begins. Then the next line you see ascending vertically links Michael and Franklin, who are in fact the first characters to meet during the story.
Yeah.
You can follow that path up, and if you know the story of GTA 5, you could probably justify a few of the ways that these paths split. So could it be some sort of story path split suggestion? You know, we don't know. Could it be, in fact, you do have to use this to overlay over Mount Chiliad? We don't know. Is it in fact linked to there is a collector's edition of GTA 5 with a blueprint map. If you reverse the blueprint map, and this sounds ridiculous but it is true, if you reverse it and flash an industrial style UV lamp on it, or a black light, it reveals hidden text with various clues about different things in the game, many of which are spaceship parts, which is a sort of a core part of 100%ing GTA, plus some other cryptic messages such as above the prison there is circled the prison with the words 9A. Now you should be able to see footage on screen of us exploring block 9A within the prison. Initially we thought, is this part of the Illuminati UFO style theory, or it could in fact be linked to a serial killing puzzle within the game, which may or may not be linked to the overall narrative.
Yeah, the serial killing thing seems to be a separate track, but that's another thing in the game. You go around, you have to collect 50 scraps of paper, which then leads you to a serial killer. But then in Sandy Shores, you can actually go and find his house, which is all burnt down now, but it has a lot of things relating to his victims and where they might be found, and if in fact he did kill more than a couple of people. It's looking like he might have killed 8 people. So it's looking like that sort of is related to the serial killer bit. But again, it could all be intertwined into one big mystery.
And you can find in another location something he's written. It says like 1 is done, 2 is something else. And
Yeah.
it all like it talks about, and it's like the reference to the 8th isn't made. And then you find another note of his in a similar location that says with relation to a position on the north of the map, which sounds like it's referencing a volcano, and a link to the Infinite 8. Now I don't understand like who the Infinite 8 are. If they are the 8 killed people, the 8th one is missing and will be sort of found when he finally re-emerges wherever he's gone, presumably to the afterlife, or has he gone to prison and died? We don't know, but it feels like that is a puzzle waiting to be solved.
There is another bit of this puzzle as well, which has come to light just recently, is in his little shack where it's all burnt down, and obviously where he used to live in Sandy Shores, which is near Trevor. There's a thing in there that says 8 is just infinite sideways. That's like scrawled in writing on the side of a big building. So that's another piece to the puzzle.
So as you can see, there are many threads to what might be a unifying theory, a conspiracy theory of GTA 5, or may not be, and are in fact pieces of an individual conspiracy. My feeling is that I think, James may or may not agree, I think there will be a jetpack hidden in the game because it was the iconic item from GTA San Andreas. Rockstar are acutely aware of how much people love to talk about it and mythologize about it. Why not make it the ultimate hidden Easter egg within GTA 5? Could it be that in fact at the cable car station where you see the mural, to the left of it, it appears to be some kind of door or hidden lift? Could it be that folds back once you've clicked off different pieces of the puzzle? To further add to it, the Epsilon program, when you see it on the social club, it indicates there's 15 tracks to collect.
Yeah.
But the game only invites you to collect 10. On the mural map, there are 5 mystery hidden boxes. Could these be, you know, the missing pieces of the Epsilon track? Does that tie into the killer? I don't know.
I think that theory is the one that, if we were going to follow up anything, that's the one that seems to have the most evidence. There are, unless it's just like a typo on the social club website, which it could be, but then that's easily fixed. Then there's 5 X's on the mural at the top of Mount Chiliad. There seems to be 5 missing Epsilon tracks. It all seems to tie together, and then that would reward you with something once you've collected the extra 5.
So what we're doing is we are presenting the mystery and the pieces of the puzzle. We're asking you, please help us solve it. Now, to do that, we want you to search the world. We want you to look at the blacklight map and explore. We'd love you to look at the mural and offer your theories. We'd love to see your photos. We'd love to see your videos, your links, you know, all your ideas. Send them to @GTAVOclock on Twitter, or get in touch on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/GTAVOclock. Together, we will crack this thing. I think if there's a puzzle waiting there, and Rockstar clearly want this puzzle to be seen, or it wouldn't be so obvious in the station. There is a puzzle waiting to be solved. Rockstar aren't daft. They know that the world works now in crowdsourced groups. They know that if they're going to make a puzzle, it has to be difficult. It's not like the old days of we're making it relatively, you know, difficult and people won't talk. We all talk all the time. The Reddits are buzzing with different information, as is GTA forums.
Yeah.
We're going to solve this together. So please, let's rally around and crack GTA 5. If you like this video, please click the like button. For more on this, please subscribe, because we will update with further videos to follow, as well as CBG's daily update videos with Easter eggs, solutions, guides, challenges and more from the amazing world of GTA 5. James, anything to add?
No, please get in touch. We're desperate to solve this puzzle. It really needs to be done. Hopefully we can crack it before GTA Online comes out on Tuesday. So that's a big ask. We've got like a few days to get there. But I really think we can, as long as we all pull together in the right direction.
Okay, thanks for listening. Comments as ever below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.